After Joshua and his whole generation had died, another generation grew up who didn't know God or what he'd done for the Israelites. The Israelites abandoned God who'd rescued them from Egypt and copied the immoral practices of the nations around them. God was angry. He allowed raiders to conquer them and steal their possessions. They could no longer stand up against their enemies. Whatever they did, God opposed them. The Israelites groaned under their oppression, and it broke God's heart. So he raised up judges to rescue them from their enemies. Whenever God raised up a judge, he was with that judge and would rescue the Israelites from their enemies as long as the judge was alive. But when the judge died, the Israelites turned away from God and acted even more wickedly than their parents had. This is Storytime with Josh, and these are the exploits of the judges. The Israelites ignored God and disobeyed him. So God let their enemy, King Eglon, conquer them. For 18 years, the Israelites served King Eglon and his nation. Then finally, they called out to God, "Help us!" Now the Israelites chose a group of men to take tribute to King Eglon. One of the men was named Ehud, and he was left-handed. Ehud made a sharp dagger and strapped it to his right leg underneath his clothes. Then Ehud went and presented the tribute to King Eglon, who was a very fat man. Ehud headed home with the rest of his party, but partway there he said, "You lot go on without me." Then he returned to King Eglon. King Eglon was told, "Ehud says he has a secret message for you, O king." Eglon said, "Well, send him in, then leave us alone." So Ehud was ushered in to see the king. Then the servants left. Ehud said, "O king, I have a message for you from God." Eglon got up from his seat. Then Ehud reached down and pulled out his dagger and plunged it into the king's tummy. And the fat closed in, even over the handle of the dagger. So Ehud left it there. Then the king's bowels gave way, and he dirtied his pants. They fell to the ground, dead. Ehud locked the king in and hurried off. When the servants returned, they found the door locked. They said, "He must be relieving himself." So they waited. And waited. And waited. Finally, they took a key and unlocked the door, and there was King Eglon, dead on the floor. But Ehud had already escaped. When Ehud got back home, he sounded a call to arms, and he led a band of Israelites to attack King Eglon's troops, and they completely conquered them. So God rescued the Israelites through Ehud, and the land had peace for 80 years. So there you have it, the first story in this series on the exploits of the judges. Thanks to John, who suggested in the YouTube comments a few months back that I tell this story. Judges is full of lots of interesting stories, so make sure you tune in every Monday this month for a new story in the exploits of the judges. If there was something that you liked about the story, let me know in the comments. And I'll see you next week as the exploits of the judges continue.